point for love to spark, you got to get it out there to some degree that, hey, this is how I feel about you. Some are soft, some are loud, some are open, some are private. That's all okay. We were made that way. But when it comes to so many Christ followers who are following Christ, they've intended to follow him with their lives, we express so little affection, so little gratitude, so little amazement about who God is. Why don't we express more to him? If worship is our response to what we value the most, I'm not talking about getting crazy or anything. I'm just saying, why don't we express more of our gratitude or how much our God has worked in our favor? Why don't we see more amazement in the eyes of one another as we collectively follow Christ together? I want to talk about this for a few minutes here. When we're in culture, there are just standard expressions or experiences where it's just okay. It's okay to just let it out. Whatever our value is in the moment, whatever our priorities are, what we deem important. I want to give one example this morning. There's all kinds of clips I looked at this week. There's a clip of a Dave Matthews concert that's starting, and the camera's on the crowd, and the crowd's just pulsating, and people are just like, whoa! And then Dave Matthews comes out, and he jumps to start the concert, and you would think that everyone had just won the lottery. There's just a beer spilling all over people, and they're shaking each other. And here's a clip from the sports world. Let's use a sports example. Now the quality's we ripped this off of YouTube. But Tiger's going to sink one of these remarkable putts. Don't focus on Tiger. I'm telling you ahead of time he's going to sink it, okay? Watch the attorneys. Watch the attorneys. Watch the vice presidents. Watch the executives, the wealthy people in the gallery. Watch them, okay? Let's roll this clip. Just one example from many in culture.
2008 U.S. Open. Woods begins his push on 13.
Watch the gallery. And then our icon of church is of a cathedral, where you walk in so cautiously and carefully. There's place in Scripture. There's place in our expression for reverence and quiet. There is. I did a message one Sunday a few years ago on silence. That sometimes in the noisy life, God's calling us to silence. There is a place for that. But it has become the dictating mantra, iconic idea of what church is and what worship is, where we come in so quiet. Sacred doesn't equate to quiet. Sacred doesn't mean solemn and sad. And for a lot of us, that's what worship means. And it's nowhere in Scripture. We say, well, it's okay at a golf tournament to spill beer and just be bananas and out of your mind when a golf ball goes in a little hole. But when it comes to the God of the universe who came to earth to show us the reality of who God really is, his love for us, his passion for his people. Not a vengeful God who's ready to strike us when we step out of line, but a God who wants to lift us up and say, come on, I'm with you, I'm walking with you. A God who's quick to forgive, rich in mercy, whose power and strength is greater than our own. We come into church to say, great is our God. Shh. Where did we get this wrong? We have to go back hundreds of years to see when it started happening. Some people have asked me before, I came into DCC and whoa, it's like a concert. Guitars and, I just would say, no, it's not a concert. We're not trying to entertain. We're not trying to be a concert on Sunday. We are just excited, genuinely excited about what God's done for us. And there are places and moments, and even at times in our services here, for quiet and for reflection We work into our service often what we call a reflection song, a reflection moment where we just quiet our hearts in response to God. But there are a lot of times, particularly here on Sundays, where we